What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Man, I really hope Spence keep that fight with Fundora in December. You know, I haven't been that confident about in him fighting on, but I seen earlier this week where I think they said the fight is gonna be, I forgot, sometime in December. And if they pick the date, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Just cause Errol lost to Crawford, he still know how to fight. I mean, even without Derrick James, the boy been fighting since he was 15 years old. He already know how to fight. He don't have to have he don't have to have Teddy Atlas or nobody in the corner with him. He really don't. But he do need a competent trainer just to get him right, hold the mitts. Just keep him sharp. But I really believe if he keeps that fight with Fundora, Earl Spence, one thing I haven't ever seen him do is not fight. Even when he lost to Crawford, it wasn't like he wasn't in there fighting. It's just that he was unprepared for what he got in the ring for, it looked like to me. But Fundora is not Terrence Crawford. He's tall, he's rangy, true enough, but you can get a mixed signal about Fundora watching that fight with Tim Zoo. That headbutt was the reason that fight went down like it did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Fundora couldn't have won because I called for the upset alert in that fight. But when I saw how the fight was going in the first round, until that cut came, Zoo was catching him with big shots at will. And if that be the case, I think if him and Errol, if Errol takes this fight with Fundora and been getting in shape all these months, because we seen him training way back early in the summer, way back in like June or something like that, he was out running. So if he's taking it serious and sparring, and sparring already and been sparring and training, because we don't know what he's doing. I definitely don't. So because we not around him. But if he, just because I think he don't want to fight no more, don't mean I'm right. And I'm hoping I'm not, honestly. And I will say this: I don't think he gonna ever go out there and just disrespect himself like he, and play himself to some degree like he did in that last fight he had out there. So I feel like if he come back and fight Fundora, I think it'll be a brutal knockout for Fundora in that fight. I think Errol will fight him physical. I think Errol will be rough, pressuring him, getting on the inside, and make that boy dig deep and fight from round one to whenever it stops. I really feel like that. I think if Errol is going to continue to fight, somebody going to pay for that last one. I believe that with all my heart if he's going to get back in that ring for real, for real. That's why I was glad that they didn't fight in October, because from where I was sitting there, there wasn't no way he could have been ready without having no trainer. Now it's been since January now or so that he knew the situation with Derrick James had deteriorated. So he at least by March he was 100% sure by then that ain't gonna happen no more. So if he's gonna continue on, then once again, Derrick James wasn't the one in there fighting. I'm not worried about him just because he just need to have a competent trainer in the corner with him, and I would have felt a whole lot better if he'd have picked him a whole lot longer ago. But I just don't think, even for the money, he's willing to go out there and let Fundora handle him. And there's no disrespect to Fundora. I'm a Fundora fan, but I watched his fight with Erickson Lubis. I watched his fight with Ocampo. I watched most of his fights, and he ain't gonna be that hard for Earl to hit. Earl arms ain't long as his, but he ain't got short arms either. He got a 72-inch reach. And once again, Earl already liked throwing body punches. This is one guy he won't have no problem finding his body. You dig? It's gonna be right there. And Fundora is the type. Once Earl start pressing him, he gonna fight. He not gonna keep bagging up. Even if they working on that, he not gonna be able to completely change that fast like that. The fight with Zoo, he was able to fight the fight he did because that blood coming down in Zoo's face like it did had to affect him. He human. And they should have stopped that fight. I don't know why the commission or his corner let that fight go on with him bleeding, and where that cut was, it wasn't no way it was gonna stop. So Fundora got a little bit of a gift in that fight. That's and I ain't trying to disrespect him, but I do like him. I'm a Fundora fan, just like the whole way he carry it. But I don't think Errol will lose to a guy like that. And you got to remember, Errol knocked Ocampo out with a body shot in the first round. It took Fundora went, I think, 12 rounds with Ocampo. That's just to show you a little bit. Erickson Lubin was giving him the business. It's just that Lube didn't know how to get away from them punches, and didn't put enough of his own stuff on him. Errol was a lot different than Erickson Lubin and them other guys that he fought up to this point. So once again, I don't like a fighter being out the ring like Spence had been. I am not comfortable with it, not even a little bit. But this particular fight right here, Errol should be able to, if he's in shape, and if put like this, if he's going to go on with this fight, I don't think he's gonna go on with it and go in there half-ass. That's about the best way for me to say it. I think if he gonna take a fight, he gonna go in there and give it his all. I felt like he gave it his all in the Crawford fight. I just think he lost. I ain't gonna make and that's just the bottom line. He lost. Crawford was definitely the better man that night. And I just, once again, the guy that went in the ring with Crawford that night, I think it'll be okay with Fundora. And it's no disrespect to Fundora. He don't have the defense, the movement. Crawford makes subtle moves in the ring that if you don't know how to box or not really into boxing, you really won't understand what's going on in that. But Crawford, I think it was the first or the second round, Crawford had shot his shot and made a step to the side like Errol threw some punches. Straight at air. And that was Crawford's movement. And Crawford, boxing is not about the big flash. It's little subtle moves on the inside, on the outside, knowing when to catch a guy. It's just little bitty, it's not the big moves. It's those little bitty techniques that some guys have mastered, and knowing when to do certain stuff in the ring. Crawford has mastered that. He really have. Crawford is the real deal. And to lose to Crawford, there is no shame in that. Especially after you have been out the ring 17 months. You know what I mean? And that's my problem with Spence now. He stay out the ring so damn long, and he just won't stop doing it. So it's hard for me to think he still love it like this when he ain't gonna fight no more than once every year and a half, damn near 2 years now, and it's just, I don't think you can be optimal doing it like that. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Danny Garcia, he definitely looked a lot better than he had been in a while. Sometime the rest do you good, but Earl Spence and Keith Thurman had enough rest to last them a career already. I'm just keeping it a buck, and that's so. It's not that I've been critical of Spence. I've just been going by what I see and what keep happening. I can see it once to know this keep. He been fighting like this about 8 years now. People don't realize because when you like a fighter, sometimes just how long when they've been BSing is going down. Ever since that accident, Errol had more than one fight in a year and a half in about 6 years, 6 or 7 years. He been doing this a long time now, and the fights have been getting worse and worse. If we're going to be honest, he won against Ugas, but he took a lot of shots. And then we get in there with Crawford, a guy that can punch and accurate, taking them shots. Look what happened. There's not no real fear of that same type thing with Fundora. He got some nice shots, but they not pinpoint precise like Bud stuff is. So I really believe if Errol keep this fight now, it wouldn't surprise me if he pull out again. It wouldn't surprise me. But if he keep it, I think he going to go in there and I think he going to give it all he got, and I think it'll be a brutal knockout. He'll knock Fundora in a brutal fashion and get that victory if he go in there, if he continue on and take that fight. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe. Till the next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.